Hello there, my name is McHorse, and welcome to Blockbuster 1.6.1 changelog video. This minor update adds a groundbreaking feature, a couple of quality of life tweaks, and fixes lots of bugs. I'll start with tweaks, and finish the video with the epic groundbreaking feature. First tweak is a new keybind, which allows you to record currently selected replay and director block menu. It's much faster and convenient than using the record button and director block. Next tweak is a more informative recording caption in the top left corner. When you're about to start recording, the caption will show which player recording you're about to record. It's useful to know, just in case if you started recording the wrong one. And when Blockbuster started recording, the caption will also tell you the current tick. That's useful for timing. Also, still staying on the topic of player recordings, the last tweak makes Blockbuster keep up to 5 past versions of a player recording, instead of overwriting the original one, if you accidentally overwrote a player recording. Since 1.6.1, you can restore overwritten recording by removing the new file, and renaming the most recent version of the same file. Next tweak is related to player recording editor. When you're opening the list, it usually shows all player recordings which are stored in the world. With Aperture player recording editor integration, it's not really convenient if you have dozens of these. Starting in 1.6.1, the player recording list will show only player recordings relevant to current director block. And final tweak is a BB gun option called Launch Player. When enabled, this option allows to launch the player into the air instead of shooting projectiles. The speed option of projectile options panel allows you to specify how fast the player will be launched. Positive speed allows you to launch yourself forward where you look, while negative speed allows you to launch yourself backward. You can even use it to fly by holding right mouse button. This option should be useful for elements like Hulk jumping, or a character gets thrown away by an impact or an explosion. And finally, the groundbreaking feature that you've been waiting for, and it is animated poses. Starting with 1.6.1, you will be able to animate Blockbuster's model morph poses. There are so many stuff you can do with this feature. Let me show you some examples. The way it works is quite simple. If you have a custom model morph, and then you morph into another custom model morph that has a different pose, and has animation options enabled, it will animate between new morph's pose and the previous morph's pose. All of these shown here are using sequencer morphs to power the animated poses. Peculiar Steve has just a bunch of poses which were set up in the pose editor, and animates option enabled for every morph in the sequencer. Lightsaber Dummy has the extending lightsaber animation encapsulated in the body part. The only body part is a sequencer which has 2 lightsaber model morphs. The lightsaber model has 2 limbs, which allows to animate the blade by changing the scale of the blade limb. Dabbing Steve just have 2 morphs in the sequencer with dabbing pose, and default Steve morph, but both of them have animates option enabled. The rabbit on podium uses a neat technique. Both morphs have animates enabled, but the first morph has both animation and sequence duration set to 0, and second morph's rotation Y of anchor's limb is set to 360. This way it creates looped rotating animation. You can use this technique for any kind of spinning stuff. By the way, the podium rabbit is using a new default model, which is included with Blockbuster mod, called Empty. This model provides only one limb with no special poses, which can be used for encapsulating other morphs together or animating other morphs which aren't inimitable. And finally, surprisingly, the girl with animated eyes also uses animated poses. This girl's skin uses a custom model, which has 3 additional limbs for every eye, which allow to control poses for eyes, pupils, and eyebrows. The rest is just pose magic and animation options. If you want the model, check the description. Here is how you can add animated poses after you recorded a scene. Open the camera editor and select a player recording. Open up the player recording menu and add a morph action. Enable animates property, change the duration, and optionally you can pick an interpolation. Interpolation is what decides what math function is used to animate the animation. Play around with it, and finally change the pose. If you will preview the scene, now our character has animated poses. Yay! Let's add another morph with animated pose to demonstrate the last animation option. The final animated poses option is called ignored. What it does is allows you to change other morph options without interrupting the animation in progress. Just like that. I hope to see all of you using animated poses. Slackers, check the description for default models with eyes. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.